Assalamu alaikum students, how are you all? I hope you all are fine and safe at your home place and residence. Inshallah, Ameen. Our new teacher Miss Sobia Naz, and today we will study about your second chapter of your geography section, the earth, in this recorded session. First, I want to tell you something, that this earth is created for some reason. God has created this earth for some reason. We all know that this reason is clearly understood to all of us, all Muslims, that this is created for certain reasons, like for example, to prepare yourself for Akhirah, to serve humanity, to see the beauty of the nature and all. Let's discuss further what's the topic are in this chapter. First heading of this chapter is continents. What are continents? Paryasm. The structure of the continents and land masses has been already explained. You all know that in detail on page 8-9 of your textbook. Okay? Geography has divided the surface of Earth into 7 continents: Asia, Africa, Oceania, the Americas, Europe, and Antarctica, South Polar region. The Arctic or North Polar region is not a continent because there is no land. There is just ice, often several kilometers thick, below which is water. Now, millions of years ago, there was only one huge landmass on Earth, which geologists now call Pangaea. The word Pangaea and Panthalassa are used in the text as Now, there was just one great ocean, that is Panthalassa Creek for all sea. On this landmass, life began to develop in simple form until there was early reptiles. The fact that the polar regions are ice-capped is of great importance today, as with global warming, which of this ice will melt, causing sea level all over the earth to rise. The Arctic ice cover was already at its lowest in August 2012. No one yet knows how much more melting will take place, but certainly we must also remember that these ice caps are the storehouse of the world's supply of fresh water. Now, points out on a world map how the America continent fits in snugly with Africa. South America is about 5,500 kilometers from Africa at 10 centimeter per year. It takes 1,000 years to cover 1 kilometer, so it took 55 million years for these continents to drift apart. Only the main plate are shown on the map, that is of your page number 8. It is interesting to note that the earthquake volcanic activity occurs almost exclusively along the fault lines where plates abut. Where the Pacific and American plates touch, the actual crack is clearly visible on the surface at the San Andreas Fault. Strips of glass are glued across the crack so that any movement can be seen as a glass breaks. Though, of course, this is for public demonstration and scientists use for more sensitive seismic instrument to detect any earth movement well in advance. The drifting apart of great plates has brought about the difference in a flora and fauna. Plants such as tobacco, tomato, corn, and many others were found originally only on the American continent. And animals such as kangaroos, wildebeest, duck-billed, platypuses, kiwis, and others existed only in Australia and New Zealand. When these plates broke away from the great landmass and on Pangea, plants and animals were in the early stages of evolution and continued to evolve in quite separate ways. There were no horses, for example, in either the America or Australia until taken by the travelers from Europe. However, animals could move across easily throughout Asia, Europe, and Africa on foot as there were no barriers, no sluice canals. To give an idea of the plates grating, get two bricks and rub them together very firmly. Imagine the plates as bricks hundreds of kilometers long and hundreds of meters thick. And then grinding with immense force, fault lines are where two of the Earth's tectonic plates touch and jostle against each other. Underwater earthquake can produce tsunami, immense waves up to 100 kilometer long, which travel at 7 to 800 kilometer per hour. In the mid-ocean, these are only a meter high, but when they reach the shallow water they can mount up to 15 and even 30 meters, doing immense damage and carrying quite large ocean-going ships several kilometers inland. Now come to your next heading, that is finding places on a map. Any place on Earth's surface can be located by latitude, longitude reference such as 23 degree east, 15 degree north. This is defined by more accurate figures in degrees, minutes, and seconds. A full latitude longitude reference is accurate to a meter or two or on the Earth's surface. The international date line is at 180 degrees longitude north to south. This is directly opposite the Greenwich meridian, which is 0 degree longitude. The latitude tropics, the line showing the angles of the tropics and Antarctic circles are the theory drawn as if the viewers is at the center of the Earth. This is all we discuss about the finding places on a map. Equator. Now, the topic in the Arctic Antarctic Circle we have discussed. Now, what we are going to discuss, your next heading is oceans. The first two items that we have read on page number 30 are naturally the most important. Without the source of water, the regulation of temperature, life could not survive. Okay, now the water cycle. The amount of water on Earth is finite. No more can be created so that the existing water goes round and round. It is a sobering thought that some of the molecules of the drink we had today have been recycled through the millennia. It has been drunk and excreted by millions of living creatures in the past. In between, of course, the water molecule have been turned into water vapors and purified. Water evaporation from the ocean is pure. It absorbs certain chemicals in the form of gases from the atmosphere, but far more from the land when it falls as rain. It dissolves many substances as it flows along the river and underground, especially easily soluble ones such as salt. Although the water in rivers may seem tasteless, it does contain a small amount of salt. When it evaporates from the ocean, again it leaves this salt behind. With plants and creatures in the sea absorb some salt so that in the end a balance is reached and the sea does not generally go on getting saltier. Pakistan rainfalls overall is about 250 millimeter there, which is below the world average about 400 to 500 millimeters. Naturally, this would place the country at the lower limits of grasslands, but the extensive irrigation makes much of the country able to produce good crops. The fact that more water melts in the North Pakistan each year than snow falls as precipitation is significant for the distant future, though serious effects will not be visible in any of the pupil lifetimes. Now, tides. Student living in coastal areas can be taken on a field trip to observe the movement of the tide. Tides are important for ports as they affect marine traffic. Currents, as you can see the map on page 18, the Humboldt and the West Wind Drift 17 and 18 sweep up the west coast of the South America. The Benguela flows up the west coast of South Africa and the West Australian current up the coast of Western Australian. They all originate in the Antarctic regions and are cold and swarming with plankton. These encourage vast numbers of fish so that these seas are among the richest fishing grounds in the world. Surprisingly, the bulk of catch is not directly for human consumption but for making fish meal fertilizer or animal food. Tinned pet food contains a lot of this fish. Coconut are one of the earliest fruit to develop and survive over the millennia. This structure and that they grow along coast allowed them to spread across the sea. Fruit that fell into water get carried by it to another place where it took root and grew into a plant. Now, your next heading is uses of oceans. Okay, in this heading, we will discuss food, whaling, seaweeds, minerals, energy in the ocean. First, we will discuss about the food. In some areas, especially the Atlantic coastal water, there is a severe problem of overfishing with smaller boats catching and breeding were kept more or less in balance. Now, with the huge fishing ships fitted with electronic equipment for tracking shoals of fish and sophisticated nets, often many kilometers long, the catches are fast outrunning the rate at which the fish can breed. The Europe government have forced a ban forbidding some fish to be caught at all, and the boats have a strict quota of how many of the other types they can catch. This has made fishing uneconomic for many fishermen. They are forced by law to fish, say, only 3 days a week. Fish prices in the shops have, of course, rocketed. There are We can say that there are two solutions: to go deeper water, whereas varieties of deep sea fish live, or fish farming deep in nets in the seas are sealed off by nets, as if we were a genetic cage, and fish inside are breed and on farming lives. Now, whaling. In the past, the number of whales which could be caught with hand thrown spears was limited. Today, with explosive harpoons, fired foam guns, whales can be slaughtered in vast numbers. The UN has had to begin fishing of most species of whales, but Japan and Norway, where whales meat is highly sought after, at first defied the ban. Another and then under immense pressure were forced to limit their catch a few hundred years for scientific purposes. This is very suspect, and the two countries have said that they will defy the International Whaling Commission ban and resume unlimited catching. Perhaps a reading from the famous novel you can Moby Dick, or if possible, a viewing of film made on this book would be an interesting activity for you all students. It is surprising that the more use has not been made of seaweeds. Now this is your seaweeds, okay? Seaweeds, some of which can be excellent food and are also eaten by some people living near the coast. The sources are limited and perhaps In the future, the seas will be found for vegetation as well as fishing. Chlorine from the sea is vital for human health as its deficiency cause chloride related problems. Minerals. Minerals are not actually are not the products of sea, but on some occasions their sources is underwater. The most important are oil and gas, but recovering these is expensive. An oil well under the sea costs but 10 times as much as on land, even in shallow coastal water. As these sources are beginning to run out, the rise have to search in deeper and deeper water with a consequent rapid increase in cost. There is also the question of vulnerability. Now, energy in the oceans. First, I will tell you a little bit about energy in the oceans. Tidal power. In a few places where there is a very high rise and fall in tides, inlets have been blocked off by a wall into water, which set turbines and dynamos. It sides rushes and it turns the turbines and generate power. Various methods of trying to harness the waves. A huge row of genetic floating is connected by lever and gearing to dynamos so that as the buoys rise and fall, the dynamos turn. This is not a satisfactory though. Okay. Now, where your next topic is weathering and its main causes. Eventually, in millions of years, if it is still survived, the earth may well become flat as the mountains are worn down and the oceans filled with the debris. This is the result of weathering, and erosion by natural causes, wind, water, and temperature. Water has purely mechanical means of breaking down rocks, such as streams, washing away the banks and beaches, waves pounding the coast, eroding cliffs, etc. Now we will discuss about your next heading, that is of wind. An experiment can be done to show expansion when water freezes. Get a screw topped glass bottle and fill the brim with water. Screw the cap on tightly. Put inside a strong plastic bag to prevent damage and fasten to breathe. Wind. Like water, wind too has a strong weathering capacity. In open places, particularly, strong winds wear down the surface and breaks them into smaller pieces and eventually reduce them to sandy soil. Draw the picture overleaf, which is on page number 21, shows how hot dry winds gradually change an area into a desert. Sunshine. This we can say the sun heats up the rocks in the daytime, but at night it cools rapidly. This constant heating and cooling expansion and contraction eventually breaks up the rock. Extreme temperatures are also responsible for erosion. I hope you all understand in detail about this topic. Read your chapter thoroughly at home. Now, for this last, I will end it up my recorded session. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.